At this time, take out your Being Teddy Roosevelt books. At this time, take out your Being Teddy Roosevelt books. I should see knees on the desk. Eyes are forward. Justin, I need your book on your desk. Open up to page 69. We're going to start at the sentence that says, suddenly the room exploded with shrieks of laughter. Page 69, we are going to start at the sentence that says, suddenly the room exploded with shrieks of laughter. Now let's see if we're ready to read. We're going to check ourselves. Knees. Eyes on book. Books flat. Thank you. I see whisperers. Okay. Can you hold our ready reader fingers up in the air? Because I saw last time some kids had troubles keeping up with me. And that's fine, because remember, you're learning readers. So if you need to track yourself to keep up with me, in 5 seconds, I'm going to give you a direction. Everyone should follow that direction in less than 1 second. In 5 seconds, I'm going to give you a direction. Everyone should follow that direction in less than 1 second. Hands on the word suddenly. Or ready reader fingers on the word suddenly. I'm checking you to make sure you are where I am going to start. Keep it there. We don't play with pencils and ties. Today we are going to continue working on sequencing. We're going to continue to identify and sequence the important events in a plot of a story, because remember, in fiction text, those are the things that we timeline. The timelining of a fiction text occurs according to the important events in the plot. And all of the important events in a plot are going to surround the problems that occur and the steps that the characters take to solve them. And I know I've been beating you guys over the head with this, but as I'm watching you do your sequencing activities, you're starting to pick up on it. So you're starting to accurately timeline this book. And that's a hard skill. And you should be proud of yourselves. Now, we're going to practice some good reader skills. And remember, you're all learning readers. So if you don't do exactly what I do when we practice this skills, that's fine. That's fine. The reason we do share reading is so that you can learn how to do reader skills the way good readers do that. Now, because we are timelining, before we read, we're going to have to do a little thinking back and then a little predicting about what might occur. So, the last big deal thing I remember happening when I read was that Riley had lost his note cards. But he found those note cards. And the steps that he took to find those note cards, the steps he took to solve that problem in the order they occurred were that, follow along with me please, I love your eagerness though. The steps that he took to find those note cards were that first, he contacted another bus driver, because remember he left him on his bus. And he got that bus driver to call the bus driver whose bus he left them on. And then he did what any good kid was. He was patient and waited. And then that bus that he left him on pulled right back around and he found his note cards. So now in this story, Riley has written his biography. He has gotten his costume. But there's still one problem Riley has not solved, and that is the problem of getting that saxophone. Riley needs $100 to get that saxophone, and he has tried saving. He tried a garage sale. And so far, he is up to about $41. I'm going to make a prediction before I even start reading. The one problem that has not been solved is the problem of being able to afford the saxophone. So as a good reader, I'm going to think that they solved all the other problems, and I'm toward the end of the book, so this problem is going to have a solution to it, one way or another. It's going to get resolved. And that's what I'm going to be looking for, to timeline in the section that I'm about to read. I'm going to sequence the ways in which this problem gets resolved. And then when we end, we're going to make another prediction about the final few pages of the books. So eyes on books. Suddenly, the room exploded into shrieks of laughter. Riley looked up, startled. Mahatma Gandhi had entered in a loincloth and completely bald. "Grant!" Miss Harrow cried out. "The name is Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi." "Your hair!" "I shaved it off. I brought in my dad's electric razor and plugged it into an outlet in the boys' room." "Do your parents know about this?" Miss Harrow asked faintly. Grant nodded. "I told them I needed to do it to get an A." "So, do I get an A?" Miss Harrow visibly pulled herself back together. "Well, the grade for our biography unit is based on the written report, which I'll hand back in a minute, and on the costume, and on how well you act as your character at the tea party. But for costume today, yes, you get an A." Riley felt a tiny bit hurt that Grant hadn't told him about his head shaving plan. So he also felt glad that he had the coolest best friend of anyone. Most of all, he felt nervous about his grade on the report. His mother would never let him do instrumental music if he ended up with a C or a D. But if he got a B, or even better than a B, "All right, class," Miss Harrell said. "I'll give you your reports and then we'll move into the library, where our room mothers have set up for our tea party." She handed back the reports in alphabetical order. Grant got his before Riley. "A," he signaled to Riley. Mrs. Harrell laid Riley's report on his desk. He could hardly bear to make himself look at the grade at the end, but he did. A minus. Miss Harrell had written, "Great job, Riley. Lots of interesting details, especially about the Roosevelt's family's heights. Next time, check your spelling." It was the best grade Riley had gotten on a report ever. "I can't see my grade," Sophie wailed when Miss Harrell placed Sophie's report on her desk, as if Sophie needed to look to know she had gotten an A+. Riley's own A- made him feel generous. "Do you want me to look for you?" he offered. She hesitated. "Okay." Riley peeked. A+. Sophie sighed with satisfaction. "Thanks, Riley." "Hey," Riley said, since Sophie was being so friendly, "I have over $40 saved up so far to buy your brother's saxophone." I'm going to stop. I'm not going to stop reading, but I'm going to stop. And I'm going to do something a good reader does that helps them track the timelines and the sequences and the events in the story. Now, as learning readers, you thought, I'm going to read on to see what happens. And that is great, right? That's the first step in becoming a good reader. But as a good reader, I instantly made a prediction, and the prediction I made was that the next thing that's going to happen, the next important event that's going to occur, is going to be related to this saxophone. And either she's going to tell Riley he can have it, or she's going to tell Riley she'll tell her brother to hold on to it, or if we're really lucky, if Riley's really, really lucky, she'll tell him that maybe her brother will give it to him for that $40. Or if Riley's really unlucky, she'll say her brother changed his mind and he can't have it. So let's read on and let's see what the next important event is going to be. Eyes on books. She didn't reply. "The one I saw at your yard sale?" Riley said to remind her. With her blindfold on, Riley couldn't see Sophie's eyes, but her mouth looked stricken. He already sold it, Sophie said. No! Riley couldn't believe it. His one best chance at a sax gone, just like that. 2 days ago. I didn't know you were saving up for it. I'm so sorry, Riley. The rest of this you guys are going to be doing in buddy reading and independent reading. But now that we have finished up that part, we've encountered a new problem. That is the new big event that goes in your nonfiction timeline. Now, we made some predictions about that problem, and we got our answer about what it was. Those predictions help keep in your head the order that events occur. Because either what you expected happened or what you didn't expect happened, but either way, you make a note of the big events when you do that. Aaliyah, because you guys are eager today, I'm getting some hands, so I'm gonna let you tell me, what's the new problem?
The new problem is that Grant.
It's Riley's lead. What's the new problem surround?
Well, he sold his.
Oh, the brother Grant sold, yeah.
Grant sold his saxophone to another person.
But how's that a problem?
Because Riley was saving up money to buy that saxophone, but he already sold it.
Right, and that was one of our main problems, wasn't it? That Riley wanted this saxophone and he couldn't afford it. Now, getting the saxophone seems impossible because Riley no longer has any access to it because Grant sold it. That's a bummer, right? The brother, I would be crushed. Remember last time we read Out Loud, I talked about how much I love saxophones, how cool I think they are. So I would be crushed. But Aaliyah, and for the rest of you learning readers, what she said was good, but I had to direct her a little bit. Because remember, when we're talking about sequencing, we're talking about the problems that affect the characters and the steps the characters take to solve those problems. Because the order in which those things occur are the important events. Those are the things that move the plot along. And the things that you timeline when you read fiction are the things that move the plot along, which will occur as problems and the steps characters take to solve those problems. I know I've hit you over the head with this, but I really, really want you to think of it that way so that you never forget. And once you become those good readers that I know you're going to become, those excellent readers, you'll always be able to do this skill. Now at this time, Miss Grimes, yes, darling?
I thought that was Sophie sold.
No, it was her brother Grant. See, that's why we go back and reread. So start right up here at the top of page 75. Sorry, baby. The top of page 73. And you'll see it's her brother. All right, at this time, I'm going to put you into your buddy reading groups. And we are going to continue. You, however, are going to reread this page before you start your buddy reading, okay? Because that's not who it is. So you need to reread from here to here. Because that'll straighten up your misunderstanding of the text. So I'll put you in your read last, okay? Start now. Okay, Nadia, you and your buddy reading partner, go find an area. Can we stay in GLP? Thank you. Because we know when we're noisy and when we move around, it makes it hard for the buddy reading pairs to find their partners, not at this time. Amani? Not at this time. I got to put everyone into their buddy reading groups. I'll get you in a minute, darling. Fozzie? Aaliyah and her partner? Oh, no. Yes, honey. Oh, go ahead, sure. Justin and his partner? Kayla and her partner? Kayla Wilson, that is, and her partner. Neve and her partner. Oh, there you go. You guys are fine up there. I don't need that seat anymore. Jeremiah and his partner, Ashley. That's fine. Jade and Ashley can go find a spot. You can be over there near the door. Yep, you guys can be over there near the door. That's it.